Morning everybody. Today we're going to start looking at sequences and series. Specifically today we're going to look at arithmetic sequences. Just in case anybody's wondering, yes, this word here does say arithmetic, however when it's used as an adjective you pronounce it arithmetic. So arithmetic sequences are something that you came across in GCSE and beforehand. They're the ones that you commonly think of when you hear the term nth term. So arithmetic sequences are a sequence where the difference between consecutive terms is constant. So for instance, all times tables are arithmetic sequences. 2, 5, 8, 11, 14 is an arithmetic sequence with a constant difference of 3. You've seen loads of them before, and today's lesson isn't particularly difficult mathematics wise, but there is some notation to learn, and also we're going to look at how to write the nth term of a sequence down. However, it's different to what you guys are used to. So let's just start with some notation first of all. So un, this is the first bit here is un, and that is the nth term of a sequence. So that's just the nth term. So for instance, if I wanted to know the 8th term, then I would write that as U8. A is the first term of the sequence. i.e. it's U1. And D is the common difference. So the common differences between terms. So if I had the sequence 6, 11, 16, 21, 26, nearly got lost then, the common difference there would be 5. Okay, so sticking all these things together, what we can do is we can define a sequence. We can define a sequence by saying the nth term of my sequence is, well, the first term plus some amounts of the common difference. So, if I think about a sequence which starts with 3 and goes up in 4s, I get 3, 7, 11. So this is U1, this is U2, this is U3. So to get U1, all I need is A. So I don't need any common differences added on. If I want U2, I want A plus the common difference once. If I want U3, I want A plus the common difference twice. So for this one I needed the common difference once, for this one I needed the common difference twice, so it seems to be one less than the n number. For this one I needed the common difference no times at all. So the formula, which you guys are expected to use at A level, is A plus n minus 1 lots of the common difference. That's slightly different to what you guys are used to. You guys are used to doing, so in this, you guys are used to seeing things like this. At GCSE, nth term equals 6n minus 2. So you're used to doing n lots of the common difference and then some adjusting term on the end. So it's ever so slightly different. Okay, you guys need to make sure that you know this one off the top of your heads. Okay, so let's have a go at this question. It says an arithmetic sequence of 16 terms and it starts with I can't see behind my thing, there we go, 2, 5, 8. Find the last term. Okay, so just before we go any further, quite often you may see that the last term is denoted L. So in this case, L is U16. It's the 16th term. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to find the last term, so we need to find U16. And to find U16, we need to know what A is, what the first term is, and we need to know what D is, the common difference. So when I was your age, I definitely used to look at these questions and write down anything that I knew. So I know that A is 2, I know that D is 3. And the reason I did this is because some of the harder questions, you're not always sure which formula to use, and there's lots of formulas to have a look at in subsequent lessons. So if you just wrote down what you did know and what you're trying to find out, then sometimes it was a bit more obvious which formula might be of use to you. And we're trying to find L, aren't we, or U16. So U16 is equal to, well, the formula is A plus n minus 1 lots of D. In this case, that is 2 plus, okay, so I'm on the 16th term, so I need to do 16, take away 1, and then I need to times that by the common difference, which is 3. So that's going to give me 2 plus 15 times 3, and altogether that's going to give me 47. You could check this quite quickly if you wanted to, by thinking about what you know from GCSE. This is 3n minus 1, and if I put 16 into there, I get 3 times 16, which is 48, take away 1, which is 47. Okay. Try not to fall back onto using this in your working out. You need to use the formulas that I've showed you today. But just while you're getting used to it, using this, falling back a little bit on nth term stuff just to check your answer, then that seems fine. Okay, so a slightly more interesting question here. So the fifth term of an arithmetic sequence is 24, and the ninth term is 4. Find the first term of the common difference. Okay, so let's just try and work out what we know and what we need to know. Well, we need to find out what A is, we need to find out what D is, and we know that U5 is 24, and we know that U9 is 4. Okay, what I'd like you guys to do is use the formula that we've learnt so far today and see if you can work out how to find A and D by just writing out what U5 is and what U9 is in terms of D. So pause the video and then come back to me, say how you're getting on. Okay, so hopefully what you did was you said that U5 is A, whatever that is, plus n minus 1, well, it's 5 minus 1 in this case, lots of D, and U9 is A plus 9 minus 1 times D. And we know that U5 is equal to 24. And we know that U9 is equal to 4. Okay, so those two things together, that means we've got 24 is equal to A plus 4D, and we've got 4 is equal to A plus 8D. Hopefully you can see where we're going to go from here. And if I take one away from the other, I haven't got my ruler with me, apologies. If I take one away from the other, I'm going to take one away from the. I'm going to take the top one away from the bottom one. So that's going to leave me with 4D. The A's cancel, and this is going to be minus 20. And so D is equal to minus 5. Okay, at this point, it's always sensible to think, does that make sense? The common difference is -5, so the sequence is going down. Well, the sequence started at 24. The fifth term of the sequence is 24, the ninth term is 4, so yes, it is going down, so that makes sense. Now that I've got d is -5, it doesn't matter which equation I use, I can just plug it back in. So let's use the top one, so I don't have to worry quite so much about some negative numbers. So using the top one, I've got 24 is equal to a plus 4 times -5. So 24 is equal to a minus 20. I wouldn't have got minuses with either of them, would I? Well, I'm being silly. And so that implies that a must be 44. So you can double check that this makes sense as well. You know that if the first term is 44 and the fifth term is 24, then you should take away 4 lots of the common difference to get to the fifth term, and that checks out. If I take 5 off 4 times, I do get 24. Okay, so let's answer the last bit as well. It says the last term of the sequence is -36. How many terms are in the sequence? Let's see if we can work this one out. So this is where the use of L comes in quite nicely. So we know that the last term is going to be a plus n minus 1 lots of d, where n in this case is going to be the number of terms in the sequence. We know that L is -36, and we know that a is 44. We don't know what n is, and we know that d is -5. So we can just expand that bracket out and start collecting things together. So we've got -36 is equal to 44 minus 5n plus 5, if we expand that bracket out, which gives me 5n if I move the 5n minus 5n across. If I move the -36 across, I'm going to get 80, and if I add the 5 on, I'm going to get 85. Let's double check that. Looks fine to me. And if I divide through now by 5, I should get 17. So there's 17 terms in the sequence. Okay, so you've got 45 minutes or so left of this lesson and some homework time, so can you guys do exercise 3A? Not written very well, is it? And can you just do all the questions? There's 10 questions there. They're not fundamentally too hard, so if you can just bash through those and get really used to using this new notation. And tomorrow we'll start looking at some adding some sequences together, which therefore makes them a series. Have a good day, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye bye.